Hey guys, welcome to Sketchaday. I'm Spencer and I'm really excited because I want to show you some cool things about markers today. But before we begin, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on alerts, and you'll want to come say hi on Instagram. I post stuff there all the time. And sign up for my newsletter at sketchaday.com/newsletter. So today I'm going to be talking about two brands of markers specifically, but really it's about two types of markers. That is alcohol-based markers versus Xylene-based markers. So alcohol-based markers are like your Copic markers, your Blick markers, Prismacolor, Shinhan Touch, and so forth. And there's a lot of variants of those out there that you can buy with varying quality. But the point is the solvent that's used in the ink is the same, and that is alcohol. And alcohol isn't necessarily pure alcohol, sometimes has water in it. So this will make a little bit more sense as we test some things with the ink. And on the opposite side, we have Xylene-based markers. So this is a Chartpak ad marker. No, neither of these brands is sponsoring this video. I just love markers. Chartpak ad markers have certain advantages, but they also use a different solvent. There's a couple other brands out there that you're able to find as well, some Japanese variants and others if you search around online, but this is the main marker that I'm talking about today, the Chartpak ad marker, and it is Xylene based. Now you'll want to work with these markers, the Chartpaks, in a very well ventilated area because it smells noxious. And there's a joke among design students, or at least there was when I was in college, that if you use these for too long, you'll get high and kind of lose your mind, scramble your brain, and so forth. I don't know, maybe that's true. A lot of art supplies are toxic anyways, but just be careful if you're using these in a closed space like my studio. Don't use them for too long. So I'm going to keep this video somewhat short. So to show you the difference between these markers, I'm going to use a couple different pens, inks, and things that I use for my line work to show you the difference in how these markers interact with those inks. I've got a small marker pad here, and I'm going to just put a few lines down. Let's start with some Prismacolor. Okay, let's use this ballpoint pen. This is a Bic Cristal. So we've got Bic Cristal, Prisma, and Papermate Flare. That's going to be my last line here, Papermate Flare. All right, and these are the pens rather that I typically use in my videos, the Papermate Flare. So 1, 2. Actually, those lines didn't go down too well, so I'll use another flare that's fresh just to throw down some lines here. Okay, so we have 3 different tools that we typically use. Now, in my experience, alcohol-based markers and Xylene markers behave differently with these inks. So let me just grab my Copic marker here, and we'll just start putting down some ink, okay? And just by scrubbing the marker paper, what I'm observing is that the Prismacolor is smudging a little bit, not as much, but understandably so because you're literally putting this material or substrate onto the paper itself, okay? The ballpoint pen, hopefully you can see that. I'll bring this up a little closer. The ballpoint pen bleeds quite a bit with the alcohol-based marker. And you start to see a bit of the reds and or blues, depending on the ink that you're using, bleeding into that marker ink. But the Papermate Flare, which is that one right there, actually looks awesome, okay? So that's why I use Papermate Flares, because they don't bleed with Copic markers or other alcohol-based markers. Now, I have this Xylene. It is a basic gray number 1, which is the lightest in their basic gray selection. And as I scrub this, you'll notice that the Prismacolor pencil is really the only one that bleeds, okay? I'm going to give this a chance to dry. And so as you look at this, this is our Xylene-based ad marker. Remember, it smells really toxic right now. And if I'm not careful, I might pass out. Just kidding, but it is fairly noxious. It's smooth, it blends nicely, and you can see that the Prismacolor smudges on both. But the difference is my ballpoint pen smudges with the alcohol-based marker, but not with the Xylene-based marker. So just for reference, we're using the add marker here on the right, and on the left, we have a Copic marker. Now, the Copic marker, it does cost anywhere from $6 to $8 per marker. The add marker I've seen as cheap as $2 and as high as $6. So there's definitely a cost difference between these two markers, and some people prefer the add markers over alcohol-based markers. However, I find that the add marker color selection is fairly limited in terms of what you can find for blending and so forth. And so that's one of the reasons I've leaned into Copic markers myself, as well as the ability to refill. But if you do enjoy sketching with ballpoint pens, I highly, highly, highly recommend finding some add markers just to add some quick tone to your sketches as you need. But as I mentioned, definitely be sure to work in a well-ventilated area. That's not like my studio because I can really smell it right now, even with that little bit that I put down. They are a favorite among landscape and architecture as well. And I haven't seen them used as much in product design. However, when I did my stint at General Motors, I noticed that a lot of people were using add markers. And so I gave it a try, and they're fun and enjoyable, particularly as you're using ballpoint pens. Well, hopefully that was some good information for you guys. And if you liked the video, definitely share that with a friend or someone. But more importantly, hit that subscribe button, turn on alerts, and come say hi on Instagram where I hang out and post other things. And you'll want to sign up for my newsletter because good stuff's coming. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time right here on Sketch-A-Day.